Welcome to the RAOB program's Hodograph Options Format tab. The following examples are only available with the optional Hodograph and Interactive Program module. Let's begin with the typical sounding plot. Then right-click to access the Diagram Options panel, and then click on the Hodograph tab. Now we can select the Hodograph plot option and then apply it. Here we can see the mini hodograph in the upper left corner. This mini hodograph is available with the RAOB Basic program, but to see it in its expanded full screen view requires use of the optional Hodograph and Interactive module. There are two ways to expand the mini hodograph. One is to use the Displays menu and select this hodograph option, or just use the mouse to directly click on the mini hodograph like this. Now we have the expanded view of the hodograph. Note the sounding diagram return icon. When clicked, it provides a quick return to the sounding display like this. And then just click on the mini hodograph image again to get back to the hodograph. Also note the adjacent image of a cold and warm frontal system. This is only active with the optional Front and Forecast module, which has its own video. And now for a quick tour of the expanded hodograph display screen. Here we have a numeric listing of all winds plotted. There's even an invert option located at the bottom of this list. When clicked, it reverses the list sequence. In the upper right corner of the wind listing is a ground versus storm relative wind option box. Notice that the winds are currently listed in blue. The winds are plotted in blue, and a blue label is visible at the lower right corner of the screen. When you click on the ground relative box, it turns purple and says storm relative. And you'll now see the wind listing is printed in a purple color, as it now displays storm relative winds. And the plotted winds are also in purple, and so is the label at the bottom of the screen. So we'll click this box a few times so you can better see the differences as the ground and storm relative winds are toggled. And similar to the soundings data listing, this hodograph has a predefined list of key parameters just below the diagram. And when you click and drag any of the hodograph winds, we can see those parameters simultaneously being changed. And to return the hodograph winds to their original values, just use the Restore option, which is found on the menu bar, like this. Okay, let's take a look at the hodograph's diagram options. As with all diagrams, we can go to the menu bar's options and then select the diagram options, or just use the quicker method, which is to right-click while over the diagram like this. First, let's look at the diagram size options. We are currently using the standard view. The expanded view option is a full screen view without the wind data listing. So let's select the expanded option and apply it. Now we see a larger hodograph. The wind data listing is gone, and the parameter list is now along the left side of the screen. Also note the small square image at the upper right corner of the hodograph. This is actually an image reduction icon, which when clicked returns the hodograph to the standard view. And now the reduction icon image becomes an expansion icon, which when clicked takes us back to the full-size hodograph. So we'll do that a few more times and then return to the standard view. And when we recall the Diagram Options panel, we'll return the size option back to the standard mode. Now we'll move the Options panel to the upper left corner to better see the next few examples. And first is the Range option. We are currently using the Same As Sounding option, which plots all the winds as seen on the sounding diagram. When you select the Custom Range, you can then specify both the top and base of the hodograph plot. For now, we'll just use the 0 to 6 kilometer range because of its popularity with storm motion studies, and apply it. And now we see the 0 to 6 kilometer hodograph and the corresponding 0 to 6 kilometer height scale with plotted winds. Next is the grid type options. We are currently using the crosshair view, so let's select the circles option and apply it. And now let's select the both option and apply that. Okay, now look at the grid origin options. We currently have the centered view with the crosshairs right in the middle of the hodograph. But if we select the data dependent option and then apply it, then we have a much more effective use of the available plotting region. The height mode options only apply to the winds that are plotted along the right side of the screen and will not be demonstrated here. The last option, axis scaling, can be used if you need to specify the range of the XY gridding. For example, if we select the manual scaling option with the 100 knots value and apply it, we can see both scales accordingly altered. That completes the Hodograph Options Format tab demonstration. Thank you for watching.